Hello, everyone. On this video, I'm touching on three things: God, family, and business. And this is Sunday night, and I just watched a movie about a real life story of a fire that killed many lives in California. And what happens to families on a day to day basis? What we focus on first. Is it family? Is it business? Is it God? Which order do we put them on? Or is it important? Or does it matter? However, we find that we're in need, we focus on God, leaning on prayer, asking for help, and then family and friends, and then business, right? Because without our health, without prayer, without faith in God, what do we have? If we don't have our health, we don't have family, we can't do business. So tonight, this really got me to think of when I grew up. I grew up focusing on business, then family, and then God. Why? Because of the necessity that we needed to make money in order to survive. And it was all about making money to support the family, the children, the parents, helping friends. And God was on the bottom of the list. Family was second. So I grew up dealing with business, family, and then God. And a lot of times that brings a lot of stress, not knowing where we really are, where to turn in the time of need, disaster, struggle, divorce, health, death, illness. And watching this movie about people getting burnt live in their cars or dying shortly after, and what's going through those that are surviving in their mind. What's the first thing they think of or we think of? Oh my gosh, let's pray to God that He helps us through this, that He protects us, that He saves us. Many of us may not believe in God or Jesus Christ. Many of us may. However, it seems to be a natural instinct to turn for help. And if our family is there, we can't ask for family help. So what do? We turn to prayer, or at least that's what I do, right? I turn to prayer. And this movie really brought that to focus because the nurse that was helping everybody else and didn't know the status of her family was focusing on helping the patients, others. And she almost died in the fire herself because she left too late, didn't know about her family. And what was going through her mind was, oh my gosh, I argued with my son. I didn't hug my son. I didn't hug my husband. I didn't tell my children that I love them. Instead, I've got to go to work and take care of my clients. I've got to do business. That's more important right now. Let me be, let me go. This is what I have to do. This is what brings money into the family. And yes, our clients and others are important. However, when we are in the point of potentially dying, suffering, having illness, we think of prayer to God and we think of our family, our spouse, our children, our parents, our relatives, our friends. We don't think about business. Not much we can do with that at the moment, but protect and save our lives. So after going through many ups and downs in my life, and as you may know or not, I'm currently a realtor, and I was an engineer, retired engineer. By the time I was 30, I had 30 jobs. I was busy, 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 work, 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 growing up, it's like our value was based on how much do you make? Can you support a family? Can you take care of yourself? Are you going to have a home? Do you have money in the bank? Don't spend what you don't make. Uh, first expenses, then anything that's left over on luxury. Didn't stop to think about God and ask God for support, for guidance, for blessings, and be grateful every single day that we wake up, and blessed that we have all our our body, our mind, our eyes, nose, mouth, ears, arms, hands. There are many that don't have that. And we don't think about what's extremely important until we're suffering or we are in danger. When I was looking for a real estate company, when I moved from Oregon to South Texas, by then I had been praying to God, God, please help me and guide me and teach me how to pray because I don't know how. And good things happen. And when I want them to happen, they don't. And so what's happening here? And so it's important to be consistent and have prayer and give thanks and be grateful because tomorrow may not be there. Later today may not be there. And what happens to our business? What happens to our clients? Well, if we're not there, it's gone, right? They've got to turn to somebody else. So as I was going through my struggles, divorces, death of my parents, I keep turning to God. I kept listening to positive things in order to keep going, right? To make a living, to support myself and others, animals. So when we're in times of struggle, as in this movie that I saw tonight, we reach out to God first and ask God for guidance and protection. For whom? For us and for our family. When we're hurting, we do the same thing if we don't have family around. If we're around family, right? Family will help us. If family is not around, who do we turn to? Whoever's next to us, right? If nobody's next to us, whoever's above, right? Our supreme being, God, a lighter person that we can talk to and pray to and give us inner strength because God is within us. And so we gain inner strength and push ourselves mentally and take ourselves away from the dwelling, from the victimization and suffering and say, hey, we can either stay here and die, as they said in the movie, people that were in a car surrounded by fire, the husband is telling the wife, you can either stay there in the car, you're going to die. She says, I can't leave, I can't leave. And he says, well, you better try. At least when you get out of the car, you can walk and potentially make it. And that's so true. Never give up when we have a chance to keep fighting. So in my prayer during divorce and struggle and death and loss of business, I turned to God and I ended up reading the Bible and learning and finding out, oh my gosh, this Bible teaches a lot of lessons about life, family, praying, business, negotiating, finances, savings, how to make money, how to grow business. It's amazing. How to raise children, how to treat other people. It teaches everything in there. Now, do I follow it 100%? I read the Bible in 4 years. However, no, I don't follow it 100%. I practice it. I don't understand it all. I continue to learn. And this movie kept reminding me tonight that it's important to focus. Like when I joined Keller Williams years ago, currently I'm not at Keller Williams, but I was at Keller Williams, and they focused on God, family, and business. So in our business of real estate or any kind of business you might have, if put on your calendar events with your family, events with God, put prayer first, give thanks every day, be grateful for what we have, not for what we don't have. Okay? We are fortunate and lucky to have what we do have. And the more we give thanks, the positive energy goes around the world and creates a circular uh, uh, energy that goes from one point and goes around to the next point. It travels around the universe. And so the more we focus on positivity and good energy and thanking others and being grateful and thanking God, whether it's a supreme being or whatever you believe in, we pray and give thanks every day. And my mother used to pray every day and give thanks and pray for our whole family. I was like, oh, wow, I love looking at the beautiful pictures of the Catholic Bible, right? And I ended up learning to read the Christian Bible. Took me 4 years, but I read it. So what I'm trying to say is when we don't think about it, we focus on business. And we think business is the most important thing in our life. And we end up pushing ourselves and stressing ourselves and being a workaholic like I used to be until we get ourselves sick internally. We get ill. Our insight starts to break down. Our body starts to break down because we're not feeding it the right things. The word of God or positivity or gratitude, instead of being a victim and thinking negative all the time. We have a choice, think positive or think negative. I choose to think positive. Many people focus on, oh, the bad thing is always going to happen. Well, that's not true. You have a choice, positive or negative, good or bad, good or evil. So through years in my life and even today, I'm learning that I give thanks. And this movie just brought it to focus today, that I'm so grateful that I continue to focus on God, family, and then business. Business will always be there. If we're not there, someone else is going to take care of that business that we had or we did, or we lose it, right? And when it comes down to the point where we're extremely ill, we can't do anything, we can't help anybody else, we can't help ourselves, what are we going to do? Stand up, get up, and look forward. Look up and give thanks that we are here. So every day in our lives, in my life, I give thanks to God multiple times a day. I am grateful. And in my business of real estate and prior to that in engineering, I was a major workaholic. And I would go to church and I would leave early from church to either go work or to go to an open house, do business. And I was told at church, like, why do you always leave early? Why don't you stay till the end of the service? And I'm like, I got to go work. I got to go take care of my clients. I've got to go have an open house. I've got to have an appointment. And they're like, well, Sunday is a day of rest, or it may be a different day for others. They're like, God worked 6 days and took 1 day off. And actually, in real estate, in any business that we have, that we do, whether we own a company or we work for somebody else, we need time to rest, to re-energize, to recoup. So this just made me feel like I needed to share the fact that as a realtor or any business owner, because being a realtor, we have our own business. Yes, we focus on our business and we work every day. Unless you work less, you're semi-retired. And we need to support a family, a spouse, a children, parents, grandparents, friends. We still need to take care of ourselves, because if we can't take care of ourselves, how can we take care of somebody else? And who do we lean on when we're struggling? What's the word that comes out of even people who hate God or don't think of God, or they're agnostic or atheist? It's interesting that in suicide's letters, they apologize to God for committing suicide or for killing somebody else. Well, some people don't, okay? That's just not in their doing. And I don't know any personally. However, I've learned through my 71 years of ups and downs, and always getting up after every fall that I've had, and knowing that I have the support of my family, my friends, my daughter and grandkids, that they're there for me when they can be. We can't depend on anybody else to always be there for us, except for the God within us, the God that we trust and believe in and have faith in. That will be with us forever and ever. I learned the hard way that family can't always be there for us. Why? They have their own family, brothers, sisters, they have their spouses, their children. They're in another area of the country. People today don't stay in the same home 30, 40, 50 years as when I grew up, or my parents. Many of us move every 2 to 5 years, which is great for realtors, right? And lenders and title companies and all other types of business, right? Because we continue to do business. And when people move and we have relationships with clients, we know they might be moving within every 2 to 5 years. So we nurture those relationships and continue our business. So I just felt really inclined to come on here because I know many of you are preparing for your real estate exam. Many of you just passed your real estate exam and have become realtors. Others are already in the real estate business and sometimes lost, don't know what to do next, and think, man, this is crazy. Well, it is our business. Anytime we take a business on, it's a lot of work and it's stressful. It can eat us up. It can destroy us. It can cause anxiety, depression, a lot of pressure. And so what do we need to do? Focus on taking care of ourselves so that we can focus on our clients afterwards and do the best that we can for them, for our family, for our children, for our parents, for our friends, anyone. And I pray for all the leaders in the world to keep peace, respect everyone. It's a challenging business of real estate. It takes a lot of work. It can be a very successful and fruitful business when you focus on it every day consistently and are committed. Yet you must take, I should say, we must take time for ourselves. Otherwise, we will break down and burn out. So with that said, the big message is I put God, family, and then business in that order, because I've learned the hard way. And whenever I'm down, that's where I turn to words of support, which come from God, the Bible, spirituality, what you believe in, and believe in yourself. Believe in myself. Nobody can take that away from you unless you let it go. So respect yourself, love yourself, and then be able to help our clients, your clients, or anyone else that you have in your life. So I am grateful to have this channel where I can share, because it was not something that I was comfortable doing. I have learned a lot along the way during COVID, and we lost a lot of lives. So this movie reminded me a lot of past, and that I get to share and help you and help myself by sharing what I feel, what I think, and also helping you prepare for a real estate exam, helping you with your real estate business, because I'm a no nonsense type of person, very straightforward, direct, sincere, transparent, honest, and really truly want to help from my heart to you. And this is a very important message that I wanted to um, share and relay. And sometimes it takes a movie, or it takes what somebody else says to bring it to mind and say, you know what, this is really important and this really matters a lot. And it does. If God, family, and business are not in that order, what you believe in, just remember you must take care of yourself and your family. And then business. Yes, business is important, right? Because that's what brings money to support the family. However, if you drain yourself and you're not there, how are you going to help your family? Oops. Somebody else is going to have to, or they're going to have to step up to the plate and do it themselves, which there are many children, many women, single men that do it, grandparents. So please think about your health when doing this business of real estate or any other type of business. YouTube, people on YouTube burn out, on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter, on TikTok, any other type of media. You can see that many people burn out. And why? The lack of taking time for ourselves and energize. Meditate, yoga, go exercise, take a walk whenever things get tough and stressful. Lean on family. Express that you love them. Share a hug, a smile. A smile will go a hell of a long way to brighten somebody else's day. And with that, I smile to you, and I share from my heart to you that I wish you the best. And the more you take care of yourself, the better you'll help everyone else. God bless you. I love you, and keep on trucking. Until next time. God, family, business. That's my order.